And we are joined by Coach Josh Heupel from UCF. The Knights are 8-0 overall, 5-0 in the American Athletic Conference. The Knights played Temple last Thursday. UCF won the game 52-40. UCF back at home Saturday to face Navy at Spectrum Stadium in Orlando. That will be a noon Eastern Time start on ESPN2. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call. If you would just take a minute to tie up the game against Temple, and then we expect to see as you're back at home on Saturday to face Navy at Spectrum Stadium.
Yeah, obviously excited that we were able to find a way to win against Temple. Going into the game, we're just really impressed. I thought they were an extremely well-coached football team. Kids compete really hard, play really physical, and obviously we saw that on Thursday night. And just proud of our kids, the way they competed for 60 minutes, no matter what the scoreboard said. They just kept playing the next play, and we're able to find a way to be on the right side of it. And offense, defense, special teams, team win. So excited about that. Excited to be back home again this week against Navy. Ton of respect for their program, their players, the way they play the game, and certainly what they do in all three phases of the football game. A huge test for us defensively, in particular, just the uniqueness of what they do offensively. They force you to be extremely disciplined, have great eyes, trust your keys, and then defeat and make plays in space there. So a huge test for us, and certainly looking forward to it.
Any questions for Coach Josh Heupel, please? Star 1 on your telephone keypad will put you in the queue, and then the operator will introduce you.
Chris Vanini with The Athletic will be next.
Hey, Josh, I know you get asked about the playoff a lot, but you guys are in a really tight division race with several teams. Both divisions in this league are close. What have you made of the league in your first year and some of the tough games you'll have to finish the regular season?
Yeah, there's a lot of outside noise. The only thing we talk about inside of our program is the next opponent. We understand, the test that you have every single week in this league. When I was a coach outside of this league, I had a great amount of respect for the programs, the traditions of the program. You look at this league, there's a bunch of football teams that have played a lot of really good football for a real long time, no matter what conference that they may have been in, with how young this conference has been. Being in the conference now, I have an even greater appreciation for it. Great players, great skill players, really, really well-coached football teams. You have to bring it every single week, and the next test for us is Navy, and that's really all we're concerned about.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Moving on, we'll take our next question from Bill Wagner, the Baltimore Sun Media Group.
Hi, Coach. Ken Niumatalolo was saying how impressed he has been with the great season you're having, considering there was a coaching change. That's, obviously a major transition when you talk about changing staffs, and obviously there was also no doubt some significant graduation losses. Can you just talk about how you've been able to carry over the momentum of last year and basically put together a replica-type season?
It was unique in taking over a program that had that much success, during the previous season. I was fortunate enough to be able to hire a great staff. We have great coaches, some young coaches, a lot of experience, guys that have been in, coaching football for a long time. They're great coaches, but they're great mentors and great leaders of young men. The hardest thing we had to do is create buy-in, because our program is different than what it was a year ago. And, we gave some of our players, we formed a leadership council, gave them some say in some of the things that mattered to them. We had to create buy-in from our players. That first happens by spending a ton of time and getting to know them as individuals. We hadn't been in any of their living rooms. We spent a lot of time, ate breakfast with them, we're in the weight room with them, ate lunch with them every single day before we got into spring ball. We've had more team activities than anywhere I've ever been. Just trying to get to know our players and be around them. And we also had to explain the reason why we were doing everything in our program. And I think, kids today, whether you're taking over a program or not, you've been there for a while, they still want to know the why behind everything you're doing. If you explain that well, you'll get great buy-in. We got great leadership on our football team. We have some really good football players as well. The most important thing is they care about one another, they love one another, and that's why we play the way we do.
And last one from me, I mean, being a former quarterback, your thoughts on Mackenzie Milton? I know he's not your classic 6'3", 215 pro-style drop-back thrower, but he's a very effective quarterback overall.
He's a classic winner, man. He's dynamic with his feet. Don't ever want to take any of that away from him. He's growing from inside the pocket. He is a warrior. He's battled through some things this year. At the end of the day, he's a winner. He finds a way to be +1 on the scoreboard, and that's really what you want. He's continuing to grow as a leader. He's still only a junior, even though he's played a lot of really high-level football. Continuing to grow as a player, but just love the way he walks into the building every day. He's passionate, energetic, and focused, and a great football player.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Moving on, we'll take our next question from Chris Vanini from The Athletic.
Coach, a couple weeks ago, you guys played Darrell Henderson, the running back at Memphis. What were your impressions of him, and kind of what do you think makes him so good?
Yeah, he's got a really good offensive line in front of him. Tight ends and offensive line do a great job of creating vertical seams for him. He's explosive when he's got the ball in his hands. He's got great speed. At the same time, he's got the ability to put his shoulder down and level the run off and maximize the run, too. So he's a dynamic player. There ain't any question about that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you have any further questions for Coach Heupel, please? *1 on your telephone keypad if so. Coach, appreciate you giving us a few minutes today. Look forward to talking to you
Appreciate it.
next Monday.